that spot.
Hey friends, welcome back to a new video. Today we're cooking indulging, scrumptious, delicious food. You can maybe even call it cheat food, just food that is traditionally a little unhealthier, but we're going to try to make it a little healthier, sometimes substituting specific ingredients, but also in general just making these traditionally not vegan foods vegan. So hope you enjoy this video. Their first dish we're going to make is a vegan mac and cheese. Now this one is so delicious, so creamy. So firstly we're going to cook some pasta. Next, we're going to mince up some garlic. Now, I like to be really generous with the garlic just because this gives it such a nice flavor. Once the pasta is cooked, you can put this into a baking tray. Then we're going to fry up the garlic. Make sure it doesn't turn brown. We don't want it to be bitter. And then I'm adding a few spoonfuls of flour. And then I'm adding plant-based milk. You can really add any milk of your choice. Whisk that up, don't worry, the lumps will go away. And once the sauce is thickened, I'm adding lots of nutritional yeast just to give it that nutty, cheesy flavor. Mix that up, and the sauce is done. So I'm pouring the sauce now over the pasta. Mix that up, make sure everything is nicely combined. Then I'm adding some chives for extra flavor. I like how this goes with the mac and cheese. Mix that up again, and now for the most important part, add some breadcrumbs on top. Make sure to be generous with this. This gives it that crusty layer on top. Put it in the oven and let it bake until the top is nice and crunchy. And you're done. It's so easy. And now looking at this while I'm editing, I'm getting so hungry. Next up, we're making a falafel burger. I went the easy route and used a falafel mix package. Just pour some water on it, mix it up, and let that sit. And for the side, we're going to boil up some potatoes. Now for the burger toppings, I'm slicing up some pickles. I love pickles on my burger. Then of course, some tomatoes. And some onions. And then we're going to be fancy and make our own ketchup. So we need tomato paste for this, and some maple syrup, and lastly some apple cider vinegar. And that's it. It's so simple and so much healthier than traditional store-bought ketchup. Then when the potatoes are nice and soft, we're going to peel them and slice them up into semi-thin slices. We're going to make Bratkartoffeln. This is a German dish, I think, but basically it's just fried up potato and it's so delicious. I highly encourage you to try this. Then it's on to the falafel patties. So just make patty shapes and fry that up. You can see the crispy golden brown Bratkartoffeln, so delicious. So now it's time to assemble the burger. I'm adding some hummus just because I wanted to see if it made the burger creamier, but it didn't make a big difference, so you can just skip this if you want. Then we're adding our homemade ketchup and a little bit of mustard. I'm spreading that on evenly, mixing it. And now comes our patty. I promise the patty only looks this dark on video. It wasn't this dark in person. Then I'm adding the pickles, the onion rings, and for greenery, I chose to add some lamb's lettuce. And looking back, I realized I forgot the tomato. But that's it. Plate it up with your Bratkartoffeln and your Falafel Burger is done. This one is so good. Make sure to try this. Next up, we have a dessert. We're making sweet potato brownies. This one is so much healthier than traditional brownies. So obviously you need some sweet potatoes. Make sure to peel that and chop it into semi-thin slices. We're going to steam the sweet potato next just to get them nice and soft. So I just have a steamer and some water underneath. I'm just going to add all the sweet potato in there. It's fine if it overlaps a little. Then once the sweet potato is soft, we're going to take that all out and mash it. You don't have to use a fork like I did. You can use a mixer or a food processor. Then once the sweet potato is mashed, we're going to add some maple syrup and a lot of peanut butter. Mix that up. And we're going to add cocoa powder. Then some baking soda and some baking powder. Mix that up once again. Look how delicious that batter looks. I would spoon that if I had it in front of me right now. Then I'm adding a little bit of flour. Not too much, mixing that up, and then we're done. I'm adding the batter into a greased baking pan, spreading it smooth, and then adding some walnuts on top for extra crunch. I highly recommend the walnuts. And into the oven it goes. And your sweet potato brownie is done. It is super delicious. It has a nice and fluffy, but also yet fudgy texture. It's so good, and the walnut gives it a crunch. You see me tasting it and absolutely loving this brownie. And even doing a little happy dance that I do. Next, we're going to make a vegan chicken burrito. So first, for the fake chicken, we're using soy bits, just soaking that in some water and cooking the rice for the burrito. So we're going to prepare everything that needs cutting. So firstly, some sweet bell pepper, then also some red onion and garlic. Now it's time to season our soy chicken. I'm adding some cumin, paprika spice, a little bit of chili, some dried parsley, tomato paste. I'm just eyeballing everything as I go, some olive oil, and just mix everything up. Then I decided to add a lot of garlic powder, some black pepper, and yeah, that's it. It looks so delicious. So frying up our soy chicken just until it's nice and fragrant. And now we're moving on to our guacamole. So obviously we need an avocado. I'm going to cut it into cubes and just to put that in a bowl. Then we're adding a small cherry tomato. Cut that into pretty small bits. And then the same with a red onion. Then next we're going to add some lime juice. And that's pretty much it. Just mix up your guacamole. So now onto the veggies. We're frying up the sweet bell pepper and the red onion. And then adding kidney beans to this. Seasoning with cumin, paprika spice, and that's it. Just fry it up until the veggies are soft. Now the last bit is our rice. We're seasoning the rice with some coriander and some lime juice. So now all our Ingredients are prepared. We're going to assemble our burrito. So firstly, the rice as a base, then the veggies, then the soy chicken bits, some freshly cut up tomatoes, guacamole, and a little bit of Tabasco sauce. Now it's time to roll it up. I like to roll up the sides first and make sure to roll it tight like you would sushi, just so it doesn't fall apart. And that's it. Let's have a look inside. Yum, that looks so delicious. Why am I editing this while I'm hungry? Okay, last but not least, we're making a vegan meatball sub. So let's start off with the tomato sauce. We're going to fry up some red onion until it's nice and translucent, and then we're adding some minced garlic. Fry that up until just fragrant, and then I'm adding frozen basil. I love the taste of basil in tomato sauce. And then deglazing with some red wine. Once the red wine has reduced, we're going to add our canned tomatoes. Mix that up and let that simmer for about 30 minutes. Next, onto the meatballs or bean balls. I'm adding rice, kidney beans, a lot of garlic powder, cracked black pepper, tomato paste, a little bit of soy sauce, finely minced red onion, and now it's on to mashing everything. We really want to get the kidney beans nice and small. If you feel like it's too moist, then you can add some breadcrumbs. And now it's time to shape the bean balls. So now fry them up, make sure that they're nice and golden brown on each side. And once they're done, we're going to add that tomato sauce. Really let that caramelize. Then get your toasted bread of choice ready. Add your bean balls. And I decided to add some vegan cheese on top to melt. So putting that into the oven. And once the cheese is melted, we're adding some extra sauce. We're adding this afterwards just so the bread doesn't get soggy in the oven. And that's it, your vegan meatball sub. This one was so delicious in the first time I made this. So thank you so much for watching. These were the vegan cheat meals that I had in the week. If you're interested in recreating any of these, the recipes will be down below. But I do have to add that some of these I just winged, so hopefully you can recreate this from the video.